Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be discussing the topic speed, time, and distance. Hope all are familiar with the definitions. Distance is the length of the path covered by object or person, and speed is the rate at which the object covers the distance, whereas the time is the duration for the covering the distance. Instead of by hearting the formula, try to understand how these three terms are related. Daily will be traveling from one place to another place, where the distance between the two places is the constant. In the first scenario, we'll be taking the distance as the constant. By increasing our speed, for example, we'll be traveling daily from the home to the college or hostel to the college. By increasing your speed, you'll be reaching the college early. That means the time taken will be reduced. By decreasing your speed, you will be reaching late. That means time taken will be more. How these two terms are related means inversely proportional. Speed will be inversely proportional to the time. In the second case, we'll be taking the time as the constant. Then how the speed and distance are related means simply if you take in 1 hour, let me tell which train will be covering the more distance, either the Vande Bharat or the passenger. Definitely it will be Vande Bharat because the speed of the Vande Bharat will be more than the passenger. So with more speed we'll be able to cover the more distance. With the less speed we'll be covering the less distance. So how these two terms are related means the speed will be these two terms are directly proportional, speed and distance. With these two relations we'll be getting the fundamental formula. Speed will be equal to the ratio of distance to the time, or distance equal to the product of speed and time. So even if you know any of the two terms, we'll be able to find the third term. The formula can be also remembered in the triangular form, where D will be at the top of the triangle. Even if you know the distance and time, the speed will be the ratio of distance to the time, and if you know the speed and time, the distance will be the product of speed to the time. As said, distance is the path covered. The units will be kilometers, meters, and miles. And coming to the times, it will be measured in the hours, minutes, or seconds. Whereas the speed will be measured in the kilometer to per hour or meter per second. Be familiar with the unit conversions. How will be converting from kilometer per hour to meter per second means simply the kilometer per hour to all we know that the kilometer will be equal to the 1000 meters, whereas hour will be equal to 60 minutes and this 1 minute will be equal to 60 seconds. After cancellations, the simplified form will be equal to the 5 by 18 meter per second. So whenever we are converting from kilometer per hour to meter per second, we'll be simply multiplying it with 5 by 18. In case of we are converting from meter per second to the kilometer per hour, we know that 1 meter will be equal to the 1 by 1000 kilometer, and 1 second will be equal to the 1 by 60 minutes and 60. After cancellation, we'll be getting the simplified form will be 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. So when you are converting from the meter per second to kilometer per hour, we'll be multiplying it with the 18 by 5. We'll be moving to the questions. Some of the questions will be able to solve with the fundamental formula itself, and some of the questions with the concepts like relative speed and the average speed. The remaining questions with the application related to the topic speed, time, and distance. In the first question, if you observe the distance is same, that means constant, then how the time and speed are related means time will be inversely proportional to the speed, as we discussed. In the question already, the ratio of speed was given. So asking to find the requirement is the time ratio. So simply the inverse ratio of speed which was given here. So 1:2. The times ratio will be 1 by 3 east 1 by 4. How we will be converting this fraction ratio to the integer ratio means simply by multiplying with the the LCM of the denominators, which are 2, 3, 4. The LCM is 12. 12 by 4. So after getting cancellation, it will be 6 is to 4 is to 3. So our required time ratio is 6 is to 4 is to 3. If you are having any queries, comment in the box. Moving to the next question. We can solve the question in the multiple ways. First, I will be discussing the traditional normal method, and next I will be moving on to the fastest method, that is the ratio concept, because in the advanced question we will be able to solve the faster with the ratio concept. Here in this question, if you observe, the distance is constant. In the first case, we don't know the speed. I will be taking as the s, the time as t. In the second case, in the second scenario, the speed was increased by 6 by s, 6 by 5s. The time was reduced. It was reaching early means reduced, that means t minus 5. We know that in the both cases, the distance is same, that is d1 equal to d2. By applying, we'll be getting, whereas d is the product of speed and time. So in the first case, the speed is s and t is the time is the t. So 6 by 5 s into t minus 5. By simplifying, we'll be getting the time, or else the fastest method is, here if you observe, the speed was increased, so the time was reducing. The previously the speed was initially, that is 5 parts, and the next it has been increased to 6 parts. So here the speed was in the ratio of 6 is to 5. Initially it was 5 parts, it has been increased to the 6 parts, so the time was reduced. So for the constant distance, the time will be inversely proportional to the speed, so the time ratio will be in the ratio of 5 is to 6. But here the time periods are in the ratio of 5 is to 6, but in the question he mentioned that the man reaches 5 minutes early. That means the difference between the time periods as given as the 5 minutes. Coming to the ratio, the 5 parts and 6 parts, so the difference will be 6 minus 5 means 1 part, which is given in the question as the 5 minutes. Then the 5 parts will be equal to 5 into 5. It will be 25 minutes. Whereas 6 parts will be 6 into 5 means 30 minutes. Now in the question is clearly asking the as well time, means the first case, that is the 30 minutes. In the second case, it was 25 minutes. So that's why he is reaching the 5 minutes early. Let me know if you are having any queries in the comment box. Moving to the next question. In this question, I will be going to solve directly with the ratio method, which is the faster for any competitive exam. If you observe here, there are two cases, the first case and the two case, where in the both cases the distance is constant. In the first, the time is 45 minutes. Time is 45 minutes. I'll be not taking the units. In the second case, the time is 48 minutes. So the ratio of time periods will be 45 is to 48. And so here the distance is same. So the speeds will be the inverse ratio of time. Then the speed ratio is 48 is to 45. But in the question he mentioned that the speed is lowered by 5 km per hour. That means the difference between the speeds is given. So here in the ratio, the difference between the parts is 48 minus 45. That will be 3 parts, which is given in the 5 km per hour. Then 1 part equal to 5 by 3 km per hour. Now in the question is clearly asking to find the distance. We know that distance will be equal to the speed into time. We'll be taking the values of either in the first case or the second case. Now coming to the first one. In the first case, the ratio of speed is 48 parts. We know that 1 part equal to 5 by 3 km per hour. Whereas time is clearly given in the question, 45 minutes. I'll be converting into hours because the speed was in the kilometer per hour. 45 threes, 45 fours. 3 will be getting cancelled. 4, 12. 12 5 is 60 kilometers because the speed was in kilometers per hour. So distance is 50. Even if you take the second case, values also will be getting the same distance. Okay. We'll be moving to the next concept, that is the average speed. First, I will be breaking the wrong definition. don't think that the average speed means it is not the averages of the speeds. It is the by the definition, the average speed will be equal to the ratio of total distance to the total time. For example, if you are traveling some distance from A to B, if you are traveling some distance with speed s1, the next distance d2 with speed s2, the remaining distance d3 with speed s3, then the average speed will be total distance. Total distance means here d1 plus d2 plus d3. If in case we are taking the for d1 distance time t1, t2 and t3, then the sum of the total time means t1 plus t2 plus t3, but we know that t will be equal to the distance to the speed. So t1 means d1 by s1, t2 will be d2 by s2, t3 will be d3 by s3. So this is the basic fundamental formula. In the average speed, there will be two special cases will be possible. The first case, in case of the time periods are equal. So whenever the time periods, like let us say 3 time periods t1, t2 equal t3, then the directly you can apply the average speed will be equal to the simply the arithmetic mean. Here the 3 times are there, right? 3 speeds are there, s1 plus s2 plus s3 by 3. In case of 2 means s1 plus s2 by 2. The second case, where the distances are same or equal, then the average speed will be the harmonic mean of speeds. That means 3 into s1 s2 s3 by s1 s2 plus s2 s3 plus s1 into s3. In case of it is two speeds means the average speed equal to 2 s1 s2 by s1 plus s2. Only it is for equal distances. In case of it is equal time means it will be the arithmetic mean. In case of not equal means we will be applying the direct normal formula, that is total distance to the total time. I will be moving to the questions. In this question, asking to find the average speed, we know the average speed will be equal to the total distance to the total time. Here the total distance is how much? 600 kilometers. By coming to total time, for the 350 kilometers he traveled with 70 kilometer per hour. That means t1 will be equal to the distance is 350 and the speed is 70. The time will be 5 hours. So 5 hours. And the remaining distance means remaining among 600 350 will be remaining means 250 kilometers. 250 kilometers travel with the 50 kilometer per hour. That means the 5 hours. So 5 plus 5. So the average speed will be the 60 kilometer. Or else if you observe carefully here, in the both cases the time periods are equal. Directly you can apply the average speed will be the arithmetic mean of their speeds, that is 50 70. 50 plus 70 by 2. Even in this case also we'll be getting the same whatever the method you are doing. Okay, we'll be moving to the next question. Here the distances are same because the half of the distance. So whenever the distances are same, we will be applying the formula harmonic mean. Here how many speeds are there? 2 speeds are there. So average speed will be equal to the s1 plus s2 by, sorry, it's not harmonic mean means 2s1 s2. s1 plus s2 which equal to 2 into 60 into 90 by 90 plus 60 150. After doing the calculation, 30 to the 35 the 5 ones 5 18s. So 18 into 4 means it will be 72 kilometer per hour. So either by using the basic fundamental formula average speed, or else in case of special cases we'll be using the, for equal distance we'll be using the harmonic mean, for equal times arithmetic mean. Okay, next we'll be moving to the next question, the relative speed. Relative speed means the speed of moving object with respect to another object. For example, if two objects are moving in the same direction, then the relative speed will be the difference between their speeds, where S1 is greater than S2. Let us say S1, S2. In case of the objects or persons are moving in the opposite direction, that is towards each other, then the relative speed will be the sum of speeds. So you can ask me why it is the difference when traveling in the same direction, opposite the speed is sum. Try to understand with the below questions. I will be giving you the examples as the below questions. The first one, instead of solving with the relative speed, I will be trying to explain this one with the traditional way. Then we'll be getting idea why you should be adding when they are traveling opposite directions. In this question, the two persons A and B, okay, A, B, who are 200 kilometers far away. Now here, A is traveling with the speed of 30 kilometer per hour, whereas B traveling towards each other. That means opposite direction with 20 kilometers. Let us say they met at after some time traveling some distance at time t, they met each other. Then the distance traveled by A will be distance A will be the how much it will be distance means the product of speed and time, that is 30 and time is t 30t, whereas distance traveled by the B will be the speed is we know that 20, so 20t. We know the total distance between them is 200, so total distance will be equal to the dA plus dB, which is 200 equal to 30t plus 20t. So we'll be getting 200 by 30 plus 20 equal to t. Here time equal to, which is 200 is the distance between them, whereas 30 and 20 are the speeds of the both the friends A and B, that is speed of A, speed of B. That's why whenever the two objects or persons are moving together, the relative speed will be the sum of their speeds. So in the next step, whenever you are doing the moving towards each other, means directly will be applying the formula t time will be equal to the distance by relative speed, whereas relative speed is the sum of their speeds. So the speed equal to time will be equal to how much? 200 by 50 means 4 hours. So after 4 hours they are meeting. How in the question is also asking that how much distance traveled by B when they met. So how much distance traveled by B means dB equal to, we know that how much? 20t. 20t means t is 4. So that means 80 kilometers traveled by the B. What about A? A will be equal to 30t, right? 30t means 30 into 4, 120 kilometers traveled by friend. In the same case, if in case of the persons are moving in the same direction in this question, then the relative speed will be the difference between the speeds. Here I'll be not explaining the concept directly, we'll be solving with the formula itself. So time will be equal to the distance by relative speed here, because we are taking the two persons moving in the same direction. That will be equal to the distance is 80 meters by, here the relative speed means they are moving in the, for example, thief is moving in this direction, the police will also moving in the same direction to catch the thief, whereas the thief was traveling with speed of 5 meters per hour, police was 7 meters. So the relative speed will be 7 minus 5, that means 80 by 2 means 40. 40 after 40 seconds will be able to catch the thief. And the question is not asking to find the time, how much distance does the thief cover before police catches him. That means asking to find the distance traveled by thief, which will be equal to the speed was, his speed was 5 meters, the time traveled was 40. So after traveling the 200 meters, the thief got caught by the police. Okay, and the next will be moving to the next question. If you are having any queries, comment in the box. And before going to the next one is we have discussed the average speed and the relative speed. Now the one of the concept in this topic is boats and streams. In this, we'll be having the two terminology, downstream and upstream. Downstream and upstream. In the downstream, for example, the river is moving in this direction, that is stream or river, or also I'll be taking the S. The boat or man also moving in the same direction, then it will be called as the downstream. Whereas in case of the upstream, if the river is moving in this direction, the boat or man will be moving against to the direction of the river, then it can be called as the upstream. Here the speeds in the downstream speed will be equal to here the boat, for the boat speed, the river speed is adding, it is supporting, so B plus R. Whereas in the upstream, to the boat speed, the stream or river speed is opposing. Instead of river, or also you can take as the stream, B plus S, B minus S. From these two, we'll be getting so boat speed will be equal to the sum of D plus U by 2, and stream speed will be equal to the D minus U by 2. So with the help of these 1 and 2, 3 and 4, we'll be able to solve any question related to the boats and stream. I'll be moving to the questions related to the boats and streams. The first one. In this question, instead of giving directly the downstream and upstream, he mentioned the corresponding distance and time. First, we'll be finding the along stream means downstream. So downstream speed will be D will be equal to what is the distance traveled here? 8 kilometer. And coming to the time, how much in 1 hour? In 1 hour means 8 by 1, which is 8 kilometer per hour. Whereas the against stream means upstream. The distance is 2 kilometers, time is 1 hour, so 2 kilometer per hour. Now asking to find the speed of the stream. We know that the stream speed will be equal to the D minus U by 2. Then 8 minus 2, that is 6 by 2, which is 3 kilometer per hour. Okay. We'll move to the next question. The same question related to the previous one, but only the values has been changed here. First, we'll be finding the downstream speed, which will be equal to the distance here is 20 kilometers. Time is the 1 hour 40 minutes. We'll be converting it to the hours. 40 minutes means 40 by 60, which will be 2 by 3 hours. But it is 1 hour, 2 by 3 means it will be 5 by 3 hours. So the time is for downstream is 5 by 3 hours. After cancellation, 5 4 4 into 3, 12 kilometer per hour. Whereas the upstream, the distance is 12 kilometer. The time taken is 1.5 hour, because 30 minutes means half hour. 1.5 means it will be written as the 3 by 2 hours. After doing the calculation, cancellation 3 4 4 2 8 kilometer per hour. So we had got the values of both downstream and upstream. With this, we'll be able to find the, here asking the man, right? Man means man speed will be equal to the D plus U by 2. 12 plus 8 by 2 means 20 by 2, which is 10 kilometer per hour. Whereas to the stream speed will be D minus U by 2, which is 12 minus 8 means 4 by 2, which is 2 kilometers. Okay. We'll move to the next question. If you're having any queries, please short in the comment box. The next one. In this question, the speed of the boat is given as the B as 9 kilometers. Okay. And the water, that is stream speed, either it may be the water, stream, river, all are same. The stream speed is how much? 3 kilometers per hour. With this, we'll be able to get the upstream will be 9 minus 3, it will be 6. Downstream will be 9 plus 3, 12 kilometer per hour. Here, boat has took the 6 hours to travel from A to B and return from B to A. So one will be the upstream, another will be downstream. In the both cases, the distance is common, because the distance between the any two places will be same, right? So first here I will be taking the speeds. We know already found that 6 kilometers per hour and 12 kilometer per hour. So in the first upstream, downstream, in which the speeds are in the ratio of downstream speed is 12 kilometer per hour, upstream is 6 kilometer per hour, in which the time ratio speed ratio are in the ratio of 12 is to 6. That means simplified ratio will be 2 is to 1. In the both cases the distances are same, the constant, so the time will be inverse to the speed, which is 1 is to 2, because here 2 is to 1, right? This is 1 is to 2. But in the clearly question the total time for the given as 6 hours, that means here the ratio of time of the 6 1 part and 2 parts, so 1 plus 2 means 3 parts. 3 parts is given as the 6 hours, then 1 part equal to 2 hours. Then here it is time will be 1 part equal to 2 hours. In this upstream it will be 2 into 2 4 hours. Now asking to find the distance between the A and B. You can use the either upstream values or downstream. Here the speed is 12 into 2 24 kilometers, or else even if you take the upstream where speed is 6 and 4, 6 into 4 24 kilometers. So by using the basic concept you will be able to solve the faster. And in the next video we'll be discussing the remaining the concepts, that is the problems on the train, and the remaining concept related to the time and distance. Thank you.